Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday, everyone. We're just so glad to be here with you. I'm John Jacob Mubarak, and I am excited to be telling you about what's coming up here at Rythmia and talk to you about the idea of ditching your pros and con list. This is something that I've been working with personally, and I'm excited to tell you about because so often when we want to make a decision about something, the old wisdom is, well, list all the pros and list all the cons, and then you'll see which is the right way to go. So I want to talk about why that is not useful and how we can use our imagination to create and enlarge our experience. That is the idea of ditching the pros and cons list. But before we talk about that, before we talk about upcoming events, I want to tell you about what's going on right now at Rythmia as we kind of build a little bit of traffic and have people coming on. Hello, hi Rick, hi Angel, nice to see you. So here's the deal. It's a beautiful day at Rythmia. Oh my God, it is so gorgeous right now. We're right at the transition from the dry season, and so we're starting to get a little bit of a breeze. It's starting to get a little cooler. Clouds are building up over the mountains, getting ready for our afternoon rain, morning sunshine, a little bit of moisture in the afternoon. It's going to be a great day. It already is a great day. And it's so beautiful here this week at Rythmia. We have such a great group of people. And Natalie Ledwell is our guest speaker this week. She is doing an amazing seminar on shattering the old paradigms, stepping into a world of this or something better. So we've got amazing guests here this week. They did their first night of ceremony. We had lots and lots and lots of new people here for the first time, lots of returning guests. And so they had their first ceremony last night. Today they're waking up in their process, with their yes, with their willingness, and engaged in this new process, a new way of seeing the world. So super happy, super excited to be with everyone. And I want to just thank everybody that's here, and then let you know about what's coming up. We've got some always an amazing offering at Rythmia of thought leaders. It's the perfect combination of your own introspection, your own life journey, combined with wonderful guest speakers and thought leaders and people who are on the breakthrough, growing edge, not the cutting edge, but the growing edge of consciousness. And so a couple of people that I want to really highlight for you, we have coming up May 5th through the 12th, Dr. Mario Martinez. And if you haven't heard of Dr. Mario Martinez, I was here last year when he was here. What a great man, very peaceful, gentle soul. Dr. Martinez is a U.S. clinical neuropsychologist, and he specializes in how cultural beliefs affect health and longevity. Super interesting. How do cultural beliefs affect our longevity? We live here in Guanacaste in Costa Rica, and Nicoya is the province, another area that we're in, where one of the 5 blue zones in the world where people live on average more than 100 years. So why is that? Dr. Martinez will be exploring the cultural antecedents to why our culture, why our community, one of the key factors is your community. Your community boosts the immunity that you have to the lower thought forms, to the heavier aspects, the more dense features of our life experience, and helps sustain us. So Dr. Martinez is looking at how health and longevity are affected by our cultural beliefs. And he bases this on lots of research and evidence that longevity is actually learned and the causes of health are inherited. He studied these centenarians worldwide and found that only 20 to 25% of their longevity has to do with genetics. The rest is all related to how we live and the beliefs that we share. So Dr. Martinez has a couple of best-selling books, The Mind-Body Code, How to Change the Beliefs That Limit Your Health, Longevity, and Success, and another, The Mind-Body Self, How Longevity is Learned and the Causes of Health are Inherited, and why our immune system is not just a protector. Instead, it responds to the cultural premise we learn and how we learn to perceive the world. So this is the basis of Dr. Martinez's work. He's coming May 5th to the 12th, and his workshop is Mystical Outliers, Bringing Mind-Body Science to the Contemplative Journey. I love this, how science and spirituality are blending and dovetailing so nicely. And his workshop is exploring the mystical path in a world of distractions. This is beautiful. I was just talking to some guests about this morning, how we can stay centered in the midst of distraction. I shall not be moved. That is our practice, our yoga practice, our meditation practice. All of our spiritual practices are designed to move off the mat, off the cushion, and carry it into our life. How can I not be distracted, not be pulled off course when the inevitable distraction will occur? So Dr. Martinez will be working on this mystical path in the midst of distractions and contradictions. And he's going to teach the way of outliers, combining cultural anthropology and cultural neuroscience to explain the mind-body principles of mysticism. Really cool. Some of the things that he's going to be looking at are how to enhance the intuition and emotional intelligence, navigating adversity with uncertainty as your guide, how to contemplate methods that can enhance your immune system functioning. This is good stuff. This is May 5th through May 12th. You all got to come down. Give us a call. Get your reservation. Come see us. Come enjoy Costa Rica. Come enjoy all of the healing modalities at Rythmia. Come see us. We'd love to see you. And another amazing thought leader that we have coming up in July, Giovanni Bartolomeo. And this is July 7th through the 14th. So Dr. Martinez is May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. It's no longer Cinco de Drinko. Come down for Cinco de Mayo and get your spiritual expansion on. That's what I'm talking about. Don't wake up the next day hungover. Wake up the next day in love. That's what we do. That's what happens when you come to Rythmia. So July 7th through the 14th, Giovanni Bartolomeo is coming. He's an entrepreneur and a life adventurer who has a passion for creating deep connections with others and also creating environments for these types of connections to take place. He travels the world speaking, facilitating workshops, and he has been a huge advocate for plant medicine. We're super grateful. He did a documentary called Psyched Out. You can check it out at psychedoutmovie.net. It's viewable for free on the internet, and it features a lot of great information on plant medicine and also Rythmia. So we're really happy about that. After his life changed in 2012 with the help of plant medicine, he was inspired to create this film with the intention of spreading awareness about the healing potential of plant medicine. So come check out Giovanni Bartolomeo. He's going to do an amazing workshop called Elemental Awakening Program, the Wim Hof Method. And it turns out that Giovanni himself is a certified Wim Hof Method instructor and has been practicing the method ever since. He's incorporated that into his Elemental Awakening program, and he uses simple but really effective tools that will give everyone access to that which can help each individual realize their maximum potential. That's what we're engaged in. How can we realize our maximum potential? So come check out Mario Martinez, May 5th, and check out Giovanni Bartolomeo, July 7th. So lots of great stuff coming up at Rythmia, and that's just the way we roll here. Great thought leaders, and then we have our amazing staff. Like the people that are just here on staff are amazing light warriors and light workers who are living their best life, living their life in service. And so really grateful to be in this space, to be right here in beautiful Guanacaste, Costa Rica, and wanting to welcome you to come join us and see some of our great thought leaders. I also want to share with you something that's really been on my heart recently, and that is to ditch the pros and cons list. If you're going through life right now and there's a decision, I've got this or that, trying to make up your mind about something, trying to determine what you like, what you're thinking about, what you'd like to bring into your life, what the normal wisdom is to write a pros and con list. Write all the pros of doing this, write all the cons of doing it, and then it'll be clear. Well, what I found is pros and cons lists do nothing for me. In fact, they make it even worse. They make it harder for me to see what the path is, what I'm trying to determine. And so what I want to talk about is the distinction, decision versus choosing. When you make a pros and cons list, you're making a decision. And when you make a decision, decide is the same root as matricide, patricide, suicide, infanticide. It's to kill off one option for another. That's the idea of making a decision. I'm choosing one thing over another. I'm going to make a decision, kill off one option for another. We're not in the world of killing off one option for another. We're in the world of this and something better. We're in the world of abundance. We're in the world of all things possible consciousness. That's what we're engaged in. And so rather than making a decision, we want to make a choice. We want to make a choice as to what, and you're saying, what do I, sometimes I don't even know what I want. How do I even know what I want? That is a really great question. And the inability sometimes to determine what we want is an effect, a symptomatic effect of the split. When we've been playing a role, of who we think we should be, who we think we have to be in order to get love, who we think we have to be in order to have our needs met, who we think we have to be in order to get our mental, physical, and emotional needs met. Then we're playing a role, and sometimes that role becomes so real to us, we don't even know who our true self is. That's the split, and it's from that split that all disease, all addiction, all illness, all disorders emerge. So as we become more and more in tune with connecting ourselves back with our true self, back with our soul, back with our higher self, then we can really step into a powerful way of choosing what we would like to experience in life. So this is the distinction, is decision versus choice. How are we choosing? How are we choosing to live? And it's really as simple as, do you like chocolate or do you like vanilla? What is it? Well, why? Well, vanilla's this or chocolate. No. Forget the reason why, because I like chocolate, period. And I'm telling you this, any true desire of your heart, anything that is really a desire deep within you is implanted within you by the divine. It is a divine idea seeking to emerge, and you wouldn't even have an idea of what that is if it wasn't already within you. If you didn't already have some aspect of that idea that was already within you, you wouldn't even be able to see it. So if I'm wanting to know what the true desires of my heart are, they come directly from the unified field, the fifth dimension, and any true and good desire of my heart is implanted there, waiting to be activated. So rather than making a pros and cons list and trying to make a decision, killing off one option for another, we're going to use the technique of creating and asking ourselves the question, what would I love to experience? What would I love to experience? This is playful. You can walk through your day, and when you have a minute, ask yourself, what would I love to experience? Not what would I like to experience, not what do I want, but what would I love to experience? Because love is the highest vibration. Love is the highest frequency. And when we stand in the realization of what would I love to experience, we are standing in a creative space. And we're using our creativity, we're using our imagination to enlarge our experience. I want to tell you an example. I was in Peru with this beautiful, beautiful friend of mine, family friend of mine, Huachan, and Martika, and Sihuarquente, who are a beautiful shamanic family. And they took me to this place called Apu Pachi Tucson. And Apu Pachi Tucson is this huge mountain. Of course, all the mountains are pretty big, but this huge mountain. And you go there to create. So we're walking down this dirt road, walking up the trail to go to this mountain, and I see this man with his wife and kids, and he's got a rock. There's a dirt trail, and he's playing, grown man, playing in the dirt trail. He's got a rock, a square rock, and he's got little rocks on top of the square rock, and he's like drawn two lines on either side, and he's driving, looks like he's like playing matchbox cars, right, with this rock. And I walked up, I asked him in Spanish, what are you doing? And he goes, oh, this is my car. The rock, he's pointing to the rock. This is my car, and that's the road to Lima. And this is my family on the car, and we're driving to Lima. He's playing. He was playing with the creative principle and having fun with this idea of what he would love to create. He wanted to create a car that would take him and his family to Lima. And everywhere I walked on this mountainside, there were people playing. They were playing with these rocks. They were playing with sticks. They were building. I'd ask people, what's that? Oh, this is my house. This is the road to my house. This is the room for my kids. This is the room where my wife and I, this is where we're cooking. I asked somebody else, what's that? Oh, this is my music studio. Here, I have a place to make music here and a place here for people to do arts and education. People were using this space. It was a sacred space in the Inca tradition where you go to play and create. And we even had play marriages, right? You wanted to bring in that calling in the one, you want to call in the one. People were getting married. Anyone stood in for a proxy, but we were playing in this energy because the true and good desire that's in your heart is a desire that's implanted by the divine. And the more that you call forth that energy, the more that you have fun with that energy, instead of having it be so heavy. I've got to make a pros and cons list and decide what is right and what is wrong for me, right? I've got to kill off one option for another. No, when you step into the what would I love to experience? I would love to experience a car to take me to Lima. I would love to experience a house where my family can live. What would I love to experience in my relationship? I would love to experience someone who's unfettered and free and liberated in their thinking and who loves me just as I am. I would love to experience someone to support me and who I can support. I would love to experience a career in which I get to travel. I would love to experience a career in which abundance flows easily. We're just creating. We're creating with the question, what would I love to experience? And the great thing about this question is it moves us out of the idea of how to make it happen. It moves us out of the how to make it happen and just moves us into the realization that we are playing with it. We're dealing with the qualities rather than the how-to. Right? So that's what frequently happens and kills many splendid plans and ideas is getting lost in the how. Someone told me a long time ago, let the how be the wow. That's what we're talking about. How it happens, that's the wow. How it happens, that's the surprise. But we're just going to play in the vibratory energy and frequency of what we would love to experience. And as we feel those feelings, feel that energy within us, that energetic vibration finds its match out in the energetic field. This is the creative principle that we live in, that we live and move and have our being in a creative medium that responds to our thinking, right? We know this. This isn't woo-woo. This isn't metaphysical, yada, yada. I mean, it is. But it's also hardcore scientific fact. When you take an electron microscope and you observe a photon in the electron microscope, the energy that is projected from that microscope changes the mass of that photon and changes its trajectory. That just in the act of observation, we change that which we are observing. This is the scientific truth that we live and move and have our beingness in a creative energy that actually responds to our thinking and our feeling. So we're not talking about woo-woo stuff. We're talking about hardcore science. So if you want to create something in your life, live in the creative principle. Live in the feeling tone and expression of what you're looking to, the qualities of what you're looking to create, and let the how it happens, watch with amazement how everything congeals and conspires in your favor. Providence moves in, unexpected kindness, unexpected offers, unexpected generosity, unexpected money, unexpected things coming in unexpected places, in unexpected ways in your life and the life of others. That's a little nod to the oath of manifestation. Thank you, Reverend Cheryl, just giving you a shout out. What we're talking about here is using your imagination to enlarge your experience. And so we're going to ask ourselves the question, what would I love to experience? And when you ask that question, you begin to live in the qualities of what you are wanting to call forth in your life. Those qualities are already within you. Otherwise, you wouldn't even have an inkling about them. And then you are living in this world and frequency and energy of what you're calling forth. And watch how things congeal and conspire in your favor. So I love this idea of not being so heavy about it. The other thing we want to remember is to do this in a mood of gratitude. So if I'm looking to encourage and call forth something within me, and I'm living in the quality of it, yet my life experience is I'm having a hard time right now, it's all right. As Maya Angelou said, there's a rainbow in every cloud, baby. There's a rainbow in every cloud. So we can be grateful for the clouds. We can be grateful for the experience that we're having, even though it might appear to be heavy, even though it might appear to be dark. We're knowing, no matter what the appearances are, something is seeking to emerge in, through, and as that experience. And it's all happening at the same time. How do we know that? Here's how. Think about this. We're going to talk about a hurricane on the ground, and you're on the ground. And then we're going to talk about looking at that hurricane from the view of 30,000 feet. And we're going to talk about looking at that hurricane from the view of a satellite, right? When you're on the ground, it is chaotic. No order, no balance, no harmony. Things are crazy. It's a hurricane, boo. All right, so that's what we know is going on the ground. But if you're in a plane looking at that, you can see some stuff's going on, but some order starts to emerge. The rows of houses look orderly. You can see the grid of the streets in the city, right? You can see some order. Even in the midst of that chaotic wind and everything that's going on, some order starts to emerge. And then from the satellite view, ooh, you're just looking at that blue marble, and you're seeing this really beautiful swirl of the white cloud. And you're seeing, there's a system here. There's an order and a harmony that's apparent and emerging and is expressing itself. But guess what? Satellite view, 30,000 feet, or on the ground, all happening at the same time. It's all happening now. So we must stand in great gratitude, even in the midst of the hurricane, even in the midst of the confusion, knowing that all of it, that the order and balance and harmony exists even though we can't see it. And the more we stand in that realization, the more we call that forth. And it becomes apparent and outpictures in our experience. So we stand in gratitude and give thanks for the certainty that order and balance and harmony will emerge. For wherever there is chaos, we know order and balance and harmony are seeking to emerge. So we give thanks for its certainty, and we rejoice in its fulfillment, and even though it has not yet been outwardly fulfilled. And so we begin in the vibratory frequency of gratitude. And this is when we use the creative principle. The only time to use the creative principle is now. There's no using it in the past, and there's no using it in the future. We know it's all happening now, so we use the creative principle now. And the real secret to the application of this principle, the practical application of the creative principle, lies in what we know, right? This is the key. And I want to bring forth someone who is about as meat and potatoes as it gets, Henry Ford, right? Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're probably right. Let me say that again. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're probably right. So this is why we say that the real secret to the practical application of the creative principle, using your imagination to enlarge your experience, lies in what we know. If I know life is hard, if I know life sucks and then you die, if I know things don't come easy to me, if I know I have to work twice as hard as everyone else just to get that same penny that somebody else is getting, then you're probably right. If you know that all things are unfolding for your good, if you know that life supports you, if you know that you live and move and have your beingness in a creative medium that responds to your thinking, if you know that everything is unfolding for your highest good, that it's an ever-increasing good, that no matter what the appearances are, some order, some balance, some harmony is seeking to emerge, I'm looking for it, then that is the true use of the creative principle. So what I know is that I'm saying this or something better. What I know is that as I proceed to put this creative principle into action through the patterns of my thinking built around the truth, that's the practical application. I put this into the patterns of my thinking. So how do I change the patterns of my thinking? By asking a question. What would I love to experience? I would love to experience abundance. I would love to experience joy. I would love to experience health and wholeness. I would love to experience clarity. I would love to experience creativity. What qualities are you looking to experience? And then put the vibratory frequency of love on those qualities. Love. Hi, Meg. Oh, I'm just seeing that everybody's joining. Hey, hi, Leslie. Hi, Rick. Oh, wow. Very cool. Hi, Angel. So just loving that you all are here and saying a shout out to you. And I want to get back to this truth that we stand in a knowingness and change the patterns of our thinking by asking the question, what would I love to experience? I would love to experience joy. I would love to experience a relationship that supports me and who I declare myself to be. I would love to experience more joy, more love, more beauty, more abundance, more clarity than I've ever experienced before. This is the power of the vibration of what you know, right? So the practical application of the law of the creative principle is what you know. And what I know is that it is always seeking to emerge no matter what the appearance, no matter whether I'm on the ground level and it's chaotic hurricane winds. I know that there's a view from 30,000 feet where order is emerging. I know there's a view from the satellite where I can see the order and balance and harmony. And I know it's all happening now. And the more I look for it, the more I call it forth. I'm reminded of one of Reverend Michael's jokes about the optimistic kid and the pessimistic kid, right? The pessimistic kid has to clean the stable. They both have to clean the stables on a Saturday. Pessimistic kid is pissed off. He doesn't want to be there. He's pissed that he has to shovel that shit, right? And the optimistic kid is rolling around in the doo-doo. He's throwing it up in the air. He's digging in it, and the adult comes by and goes, kid, what you doing? The kid goes, well, with all this shit in here, I know there's got to be a pony somewhere. That's what I'm talking about, that we're asking, what would I love to experience? I'd love to experience a pony in the middle of all this shit. That's what I'd like. Ask yourself the question and allow the creative principle to congeal around the vibratory frequency of what you know and the gratitude that you have for the truth that you can create and call forth that which is seeking to emerge in, through, and as you. So I'm going to ask you, what are you thinking? Guard your thoughts. The universe is taking a snapshot right now. What are you thinking? Are you thinking that abundance is coming towards you, rushing towards you? Are you thinking that the answer to every one of your problems is rushing its way towards you, that everything is unfolding for your best and highest good, no matter what the appearances are, because I know there's something good in here and I'm looking for it? Or are we thinking, I know life is hard, right? It's okay, but we're going to shift that thinking. We're going to shift the patterns of our thinking by asking the question, what would I love to experience? So I'm going to leave you with that. What would I love to experience? My wish for you is to experience the great realization that there is a divine presence that sees you as perfect and whole and complete and wants only your happiness, that sees you as magnificent. That's the truth. I want you to leave this moment right now knowing that you would love to experience the feeling of a divine presence that loves and adores you beyond imagination, that everything's working together for your good, and that all good things are coming your way with ease and grace. That's what I know. That is the truth of life. I rejoice in its fulfillment, and I give thanks for its certainty, and I give thanks for you. I'm so grateful to spend this time with you, to have the opportunity to do a little Facebook Live and say peace and richest blessings to all of you. Come see us at Rythmia. I love you all. Thank you. Have a brilliant, brilliant day. Peace and blessings.